Okay. So, I'm back in here. I've already attempted to record this once, but they actually so a couple of things happened the first time I tried to record this. One, they had already killed the first boss, so I didn't get to check that out. Two, the group I was in was quite salty or toxic. So, yeah, it didn't go well. Also, as you can see, I'm trying out Resto again. Not necessarily because of the quick queue, but because I've actually been wanting to give it another shot. I've actually also been changing up my build. Recently I healed some mythic dungeons as Resto, and I want to kind of give it another shot and kind of mess around with some other different abilities, see if it would make my build better, and just kind of make me feel better about playing
New
Resto.
anchor location detected within aperture.
Well, aperture is certainly the polite way to put it.
So in case you're curious, this is the changes that I've made to my build. Unleash Life, Earth Shield, which I probably need to give to my tank here. Boop, there you go. That totem there. And there's basically some other, I had a lot of passives, and so I basically added quite a few extra cooldowns. So apparently someone has that going. But Earth Shield, Earth Grab Totem, it's not necessarily going to be that useful, in the boss fights, obviously, but against mobs and such, hopefully you'll add some crowd control. Ancestral Protection Totem, it's a 5-minute cooldown. It actually can give a teammate reincarnation, which is a big deal at times, especially in a boss fight, to give ourselves like an extra combat res. The Cloudburst Totem, 30-second cooldown, a way to kind of like have some extra healings kind of stored up and then burst. And then Ascendance to be able to actually increase my healing in that regard when I use it. So, oh my gosh! Alright, let's drop that. Not much I could do there.
All you witness
Let's see if I can actually...
is my flesh.
Actually, that's not going to matter against those enemies. I know that one of the biggest things I need to work on is the fact that some of these abilities I don't have any bound to any actual keys, and I'm clicking some of my healing abilities, which, in a raid like this, it's kind of like, why would you do that? That's kind of a cardinal sin, basically. So it's definitely something I need to work on, and I really need to, rebind stuff. But the main thing that I need to do to make this easier is to get myself a mouse that has multiple buttons, because I'm still using a 2-button mouse, which for some people I know, they're kind of like laughing and scoffing at the idea of actually using a 2-handed mouse at this point when you're playing this kind of high level gameplay. In lower level stuff, yeah, whatever, but when you get to the high level stuff like this kind of current raid tier, it's like, no, you need to get a better mouse, one that actually has extra buttons that you can be able to bind all these abilities to, so that you're not having to resort to clicking, which, as you know, is clicking is, your buttons instead of actually using your hotkeys is not a good idea, especially if you're going to be doing something as important as healing. So, it's a work in progress, but that's why I'm trying to see if I can get better at it. Especially when I know that this is not the most optimal of interfaces when it comes to playing as a healer. But I haven't spent time working or learning some of the other interface add-ons that you can get, such as I think it's called LUVI? Something like that? Oh gosh, oh gosh, oh gosh. I see little teammates, I'm like, oh gosh, ah!
Watch your step.
So I've gotten rid of, in order to try to use Ascendance, I don't want to pop it for, trash. I want to save it for bosses. So I was, the previous time I got in as enhancement, we took down the boss on my first try when I joined them. Apparently they had been wiping, and they were just at each other's throats, mouthing off, yelling at each other in chat. It was bad. And at that, after there was a point I was just like, okay, I gotta get out of this group. Try some other time. So I left. After we had another wipe on Iyl'gynoth, and I was like, because they were just being very, just like, rah, to each other, and I was like, nope. I also obviously don't necessarily have a spot here on my screen to help out with, like a healing.
But will feed my perfection.
Hi, Iyl'gynoth. You remember him, right? From the Emerald Nightmare back in Legion? I hope you do. He had some fascinating things to say.
Watch your step.
What I like about some of these abilities that they're instant casts and don't necessarily cost mana. They just kind of help. I also have some essences that are going to help out my healing. Let me go ahead and res this guy so he doesn't have to use his reincarnate. And someone pulled the boss before I could res him. Ha ha ha! Wow!
Debilitating spit.
My goodness. Alright, gonna pop that.
Dissolve.
3, 2, 1.
Unfundamental.
Go ahead and do that. Oh my gosh, the lag. So this is something that, yeah, I know guys like Preach Gaming have talked about, the amount of RNG that is going on right now in this battle amongst all the players is part of the amount of technical issues that we have been having throughout this expansion, or at this patch rather, not this expansion, but ever since 8.3, I have experienced more technical problems with this game on my decent PC than I've ever had before playing this game. And I found out it's because of the amount of RNG that they have added to all the different things that are going on in this game, and all the players, especially in big raid battles, that just cause it to have numerous problems and issues. Okay, drop that totem. I'll go over this guy in just a bit. Alright, I'm just gonna go ahead and pop this, because I can't tell, whether or not someone was supposed to pop it or not, so I'm gonna go ahead and just do that now. Drop that, and then drop that, because that plays right into what this totem does. So.
Debilitating spit. Target
3, 2.
Yeah, so it's a little hard for me to, do this stuff for you guys while this is going on. I'll try at some point, but just right now it's a little like, just trying to make sure we get it right. I love seeing all the different devil swords here, all the different, from the hunters in our group here. I'm also doing some passive healing because of the essences I have equipped for my resto, which I was able to get at least one other to help out with that, which is called the Seeds of Aeonar, which is a very nice extra passive heal type of essence, and the kind of essence I was really hoping for and thought might be able to help out with my heals. So I'm wanting to get to the point where I get very comfy as a resto shaman in high level play like Mythic Keys, even though at times it just feels like resto shaman needs something. Now some have said that they actually do like resto shaman these days, but compared to other healing specs in the game, like I've said, like resto druid and mistweaver, it just at times feels like it could be more. It could be more. They could be doing more with it. Whew. That's one of my biggest gripes, is that it feels like they could be doing more.
Dissolve.
Oh gosh.
Debilitating spit.
It's alright. I healed you. I got you. You popped his ice block. Well, that just was very fast. I got a corrupted item. Now that's not an upgrade for me because I have 460 hands, so I'll do roll
Your durability.
for this. If anybody needs it, by all means, have at it.
Watch your step.
I'm sure for some people a 430 hands, even though it's a corrupted item, what does it have?
Watch your step.
Spawn a tentacle which mind flays your target. Chat. Lol. I just realized I did that in guild chat and not my, not the raid chat. Oops. My bad. I had been chatting with my guild earlier and I forgot to change the chat. Oopsie. Alright, let's get that out because I'm not wanting us to be wiping on trash. I like this constant unwavering wards. That is so great. Yikes. Let's get you up. There we go. I'm actually not really having that much of a mana problem. At least it doesn't feel that way. In the past, I felt like I had constant mana problems playing Resto. But with this build, so far I felt like I haven't had that much of a... Oh my gosh. Wow, that killed me very fast. Well, let's see. Let's see if one of these other players will notice that one of their healers is dead and reses them. I mean, we have some paladins and druids and such in the group, and some priests. I would hope one of them would be like, "Hey, let's res that." Hello. Oh, there we go. Thank you. Drop this, and then drop this. Give you the shield, give you more heals, some chain heals. Let's go ahead and also pop that, because I feel like this is going to give us some trouble. But going back to what I was saying, I just feel like if you compare the Resto Shaman to the Resto Druid or the Mistweaver, at least from the way I play it, my preferences, it just feels like, they could add more. Now, maybe I'm just, playing it wrong or have the wrong talents.
Watch your step.
Alright, so this fight I know, but I did so as a DPS, so I have to check what the tactic is here for the healer. Oh my gosh! What just...
Watch your step.
Wait, is it the other trash that's back here? Oh my gosh. Alright, can we please clear the trash? Alright, there we go. Oh my goodness. Ouch. Alright. Alright, in the cloud, there's a block line of sight. Yeah, the cloud can cost substantial. Alright. So hopefully the DPS knows what to do. Because I figured out what to do in this fight as DPS, so... Alright, so while they kind of prep and such. So the previous boss we just fought was Shadhar the Unsatiable. One of Ny'alotha's most nightmarish creations. Shadhar the Unsatiable feasts on the corrupted carcasses that the old god's minions discard into its domain. Tormented by ceaseless hunger, and Shadhar's body twists and mutates with every corpse that it devours. This is Drestagath, the grotesque amalgam of flesh known as Drestagath slumbered beneath Ny'alotha for millennia, until being awakened by Ny'alotha's return. Now she rises like a revolting boil, ready to burst and spread her vile pestilence across Azeroth.
Interrupt.
Alright, so let's see how many of them, the DPS, will figure out this tactic.
Watch your step.
That Sean, Void Infused Igor.
Oh, it's on me? Oh, sweet.
Add spawned.
Run away. Interrupt.
Put that down.
Interrupt.
Void
Stay
flare.
away from lines.
So I guess if we participate in killing that, we all get that debuff, which allows us to harm the boss. I think.
Void grid. Add spawned. Void infused. Void infused. Add spawned.
Watch your
Enteropic
step.
crash.
Oh gosh. That's one of the frustrating things is when your tank or
That's
the
fine.
person you're trying to heal gets away from you and then gets out of
That's
range
fine.
and then you can't really
Void
do
infused
much.
Ichor.
Like right now, I am like, ah! Because I'm in range of getting hit by the boss, but that's because I'm trying to get in range to heal my tank, one of my tanks.
Stay away
Flare.
from lines.
Ow!
Watch your
Enteropic
step.
crash.
That actually didn't hit me.
Interrupt.
So, yeah, the way this boss works has a bit of regen. The way you get, the reason why you see that debuff pop up on the screen is because that's the only way to damage the boss without it regenning the damage that you deal to it. Because if you damage it without that debuff, it just regens its health back from that. So it's not a big deal. Ah! Oh gosh.
Stay
Void
away
flare.
from lines.
Add spawned.
Okay. Okay, I think I'm okay.
Watch your
Enteropic
step.
So you have to destroy the, like the eyes in order to get that debuff to damage the boss so that you can actually be able to make it where it doesn't regen the damage you do. You also have to get rid of the tentacles, but there's also kind of a back and forth. Like, well, you need to do this, but if you do this, then this happens. So it's kind of a give and take back and forth. You have to, like, you have to do it, but there's also a consequence to doing it.
Run away.
It's a very interesting fight. This does feel a little different doing this fight as
Stay
a
away
flare.
from lines.
healer instead of a DPS. Because it felt kind of like simple to follow as a DPS. As a healer, it's kind of like, okay, just kind of like, I gotta keep track of my teammates and the damage they're taking. Like, the way you get the debuff to damage the boss is by taking out these eyes.
Add spawn. Void infused.
Oh, yeah. Void infused Ichor on you. So when you get that, that's when you have to start attacking the boss. Because that is when you are able to do damage that it cannot regen.
Watch your
Enteropic
step.
crash. Add spawned.
Man, I really wish I was playing DPS right now.
Special
Throes of
coming.
agony.
Because it feels like we are
That's
not doing
pumped.
nearly enough damage to this boss right now. But I will say, look at my mana bar. It feels like my mana is not a problem right now, which is a big thing for me because I always felt like there was constant mana problems whenever I played Resto Shaman. But now it's like, you know what? It doesn't feel like I'm constantly having mana problems anymore.
Void infused Ichor.
Watch your
Enteropic
step.
crash.
And I think maybe this build that I've changed has actually been a big reason for that. It also helps I was able to acquire those essences. Oh my gosh, look at all that damage. Where's our brewmaster? Where is he? Let me heal him back up. There's a lot of buttons to press here, so
Stay away from lines.
let's just say I've been trying to figure out like all my different hotbar placements and such. So
Watch your
Entropic
step.
crash.
Run away.
Add void grip.
all right, so we've had a couple people die. That's not good.
Void infused ichor. Add spawned. Add spawn. Void grip. Throes of agony. Add spawn.
Stay
Void
away
flare.
from lines. Special
Throes of
coming.
agony. Add spawned.
Watch your
Entropic
step.
crash. Void infused
Run
ichor.
away.
Okay.
Void grip. Add spawned. Void infused ichor.
All right.
Stay
Void
away
flare.
from lines.
Try and get some good healing out.
Add spawned.
Watch your
Entropic
step.
crash.
It feels like they're finally starting to really get the hang of it, because now it feels like we're starting to really work on killing this boss.
Run away.
Void infused ichor.
Stay
Void
away
flare.
from lines.
Now, let's see. I don't have the debuff on me, so all I can really do is just keep healing people until another... Ah, there's the eyes. All right. Oh, gosh.
Interrupt. Run away.
Add spawn. Void infused
Stay
ichor.
away from lines. Watch your
Entropic
step.
crash.
Interrupt.
Void grip. Void infused ichor. Add spawned. Void infused ichor.
Run away.
Okay.
Add spawn.
So the damage that my dot is doing right now can't be healed because I have that debuff on me.
Special
Throes of
coming.
agony.
Oh, gosh. It's alright. About to get my big totem. There we go. Pop that. Pop that. Let's get
Stay
you.
away from lines. Watch your
Entropic
step.
crash. Void infused ichor.
Alright, so I can't do any more damage that it won't regen. Yeah, see, it's just regenning that health back, so...
Interrupt. Run away.
Ow.
Void
Stay
flare.
away from lines. Want your
Enteropic
step?
crash.
It's like we really need to try and finish this one off.
Add Void infused ichor.
Alright. That's another reason why I gotta get to a point where I don't have to do any more clicking. Because sometimes it just
Add
simply
stop.
will not acknowledge my click.
Void infused ichor.
Woohoo!
Claw my flesh, but I am eternal.
Yeah. I doubt that was the longest attempt. Maybe an LFR. He could be joking, but I don't think anyone ever rolled for the other piece that I had. I'll just check again. See, this is one of the things I like about the essence about the Unwavering Rewards. It just keeps on doing it over and over. It just keeps on tossing those shields out passively. It's great. Ouch. So for the record, like I said, I didn't actually beat Iyl'gynoth the last time. That's a rough fight. I hope the group figures out what to do. And I hope no one, gets at each other's throats like the last group. But so far, this has been great because we have had no wipes. We have one shot, both bosses. So I'm hoping the same thing happens here. Notice nobody has rolled for what I got. Whatever. I guess, just sell it or I'll just scrap it.
Watch your step. Watch your step.
That huge heal from my essence is on a 60-second cooldown. That's not bad. I also have at least 1 or 2 essences that help with my mana. Help me get mana back, which is really nice, and it's really helped me feel like I don't go nearly as often as I used to. I really feel like changing this build really did wonders for my outlook on this spec. And of course I'm rocking Valen here.
Reduction of contamination required for anchor deployment.
Oh gosh, oh gosh, oh gosh.
Never be rid of me.
Holy mackerel. I guess not, considering that we thought we were rid of you back in the Emerald Nightmare. And yet, there he is. And he has quite a few quotes in this raid, just like he did back in the Emerald Nightmare. If we pull off the fight, I'll probably try and take the time to actually look up the quotes for you guys. Yes, this is Iyl'gynoth. Following its defeat in the Emerald Nightmare, Iyl'gynoth retreated into the depths of Ny'alotha to regain its strength. Now it has has fused with the city's architecture and spreads across the Black Empire like a creeping infestation. As Iyl'gynoth's corrupting flesh grows ever larger, so does its power. Yeah. So you see those three places there on the side and behind him? Those are, well, I guess there's no other better way to say this, organs that have to do with him. So we have to kill him 4 times. No, I'm serious. We have to kill him 4 times. We kill him once, those things open. We have to destroy one of those things, then we have to kill him again. And then rinse and repeat until all 3 are down, and then we kill him one more time. This is a long fight. This is a long fight. There, you know, all 3 organs of corruption and Iyl'gynoth have been defeated. Let's see if I can eat. Get a well-fed critical strike to help out my healing. Yeah. So flee from allies when they are afflicted with the touch of corruption. The raid will suffer heavy damage when targeted with cursed blood. Your tank will need assistance when afflicted with too many stacks of Ny'alotha. Yeah.
The feeding begins.
Iyl'gynoth.
I always did like his voice.
Peace falls upon you.
Watch your
Corruptor's
step.
gaze.
I see the corruption within.
Watch your
Corruption. Iyl'gynoth.
His gaze
Watch your
Corruption.
is upon
Iyl'gynoth.
the soft sees all.
Watch your
Corruptor's
step.
gaze.
I'll put that down there to help out our tank.
Corruption within.
Watch your
Corruption.
watch your
Corruption.
watch your
Corruption.
watch your
Corruption.
It's still under me? Oh my gosh.
Heals away to expose wrath.
Cursed blood, yikes. Alright. Okay, so some time has oh my gosh, look at that damage everyone just took. This is why it's like, okay, big AoE heals, big AoE heals. Oh, now run away from everybody. I'm trying to run and then people just run to me. Also, this is part of the problem. People are splitting up, and you shouldn't do that. Everyone needs to focus one organ.
target you.
Just focus one organ. Yikes. And yeah, people. Yep.
Watch your corruption. Watch your corruption. Iyl'gynoth.
I like the ego that Iyl'gynoth has to this point. He really does think he is perfect. This world isn't perfect, except me. I am the only perfect one here.
The soft sees.
Man, he really does think he is perfect. Who is he, Cell? I am perfect. Please, somebody get that. I hope you all have seen Dragon Ball Z as well, just like I have. Oh gosh, why did he... Oh gosh. Ow, that hurt.
I see the corruption within.
Okay, I did not realize our tank was right there. Yeah, you cannot stand behind your tank or near your tank because he is going to get blasted with that thing. And it hurts. It's part of the reason why I have to make sure that I definitely keep him healed up because... Yeah. Boom. Okay, let's go.
Eye of Ny'alotha.
His gaze falls upon
Watch your
Corruptor's
step.
gaze.
I see the corruption within.
Watch your feet.
Corruption.
Watch your feet.
Corruption. Eye of Ny'alotha.
His gaze.
Oh my gosh, that damage.
Flesh
Okay,
peels away
now for another organ.
Interrupt
to
one.
expose.
Watch your
Oh my gosh, all that corrupted blood. Yikes. Oh yeah, and the blood of Ny'alotha. Yeah, that's wonderful.
interrupt two. Run out.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I have to stay here away from other players. Okay. Where's our brewmaster? Where is he? Is he over here? Yep. Like, why are you over there?
Watch interrupt one.
We need to be over here. We can't be doing this, you know, like, you know. Now, the only thing is, we're trying to also stay spread so that we don't keep spreading that damage from that debuff there. Oof. But again, I still don't have any mana problems right now.
Perfection.
Which is, it feels good.
Eye of
It feels
Ny'alotha.
good that... Oh gosh, I just ran right into that. I was so focused on getting in range of this person to heal, I didn't even realize I was running right into the path of that blast. So I now have the Eye of Ny'alotha.
Eye of Ny'alotha.
The soft sees all.
Okay, put that totem down. Put that there to help out with heals in that area.
Ny'alotha.
The soft.
Oh gosh. That almost hit me.
Corruptor's gaze.
I see the
If that had hit me, that possibly could have killed me.
Eye of Ny'alotha.
His gaze falls upon you.
I wouldn't mind seeing the stats on the
Target
healing meter, just to see how much healing I am doing compared to the other healers.
Corruptor's gaze.
Like, am I doing okay? That's usually like my main concern. Am I doing alright?
Eye of Ny'alotha.
A few more minutes, and this fight will have gone on long enough that I'll be able to actually go ahead and let's drop that to help out with any of those that trash.
Eye of Ny'alotha.
The soft sees all.
Watch your
Corruptor's
step.
gaze.
I see the corruption within. Flesh
Okay,
peels away
last one.
Interrupt
to
one.
expose rot.
A lot of people dead at this point. I'm not sure if we have enough DPS to be able to pull this off. Oh my gosh, look at how much cursed blood there is around the group. Yikes!
Run out.
Oh gosh. Oh gosh. And there's so much of this on the ground, we have to watch our feet.
Target you. Interrupt 2.
Okay. Well, we've got all 3 down. Now we just have to kill him one more time.
Falls upon you.
Watch your
Corruptor's
step.
gaze.
I see the corruption within.
Oh gosh, there's so many of these bloods that are around right now.
The soft sees all.
Eye of
Nope.
Ny'alotha.
Oh gosh, we're going down one by one.
Sees all.
Oh gosh.
I see the corruption within.
Watch your feet. Target you. Watch your feet.
Corruption.
There's, oh my gosh, there's so much.
Soft sees all.
They're all fixated on me. Ah!
Target you.
This is like a horror movie. No! There was no way I could escape that when they all fixate on you like that. That's good. That's a horrifying sight. Oh, man. You see what I mean about how this is a rough fight because it goes so long? Woof, man. I mean, that wasn't a bad try.
May your feet find good trails.
We did pretty well. We did take down all 3 organs and got down to the final phase. We just had too many people dead and just couldn't pull it off. Alright, so obviously he was talking to me there, because I lusted at the beginning of the fight. So that's a lesson for me, you know, when you have a shaman, is don't lust until after the 3rd gate has gone down. The only issue is that we hopefully have to have a number of people actually, like, still alive. I don't know what that means. I have a feeling that was meant for someone else. Either that or that's not what he meant to say. That may have been a oops. Oh, man. This is one of those endurance matches. This is also someone who, yeah, who has DC'd. I wonder if anyone else is going to request to have this person removed because they DC'd. And we do not need a DC right now. We need all available. Like, this is... we need lots of DPS to burst him down and burst the organs down. And we're also going to, you know... Obviously, I need to work on my heals. I'll just say that it probably was a little bit of an easier time to be able to do this as a DPS than it is as a healer. But at the same time, as I've been saying, I've been enjoying this change in a build, you know... This replaced the slips, you know, what, yeah. So this replaces the healing stream totem. So just to kind of help go over this. So it unleashes an elemental force of life, healing a friendly target for 24,000 and increase the effect of the shaman's next direct heal by 35%. Dude, you already said that once. I saw it. You don't have to say it again. And the, you know, it's like, I don't know who else he's talking to unless you think I already acknowledged it. So there's Earth Shield, of course, that's for the tank, where he receives damage for each of the 9 charges, and he gets a heal from it. It increases your allies within 20 yards of the totem with extra 10% health. If they die, the totem will be consumed to allow them to reincarnate with 20% health and mana. The Cloudburst totem, it's someone's totem at your feet for 15 seconds that collects power from all of your healing spells. When the totem expires or it dies, the stored power is then released, healing all the injured allies within 40 yards for 30% of all the healing that was done while it was active. And then Ascendance, which duplicates all the healing that you deal for 15 seconds, immediately heals for 114,000. So, yeah. This doesn't cost mana, compared to Wellspring, which I used to use, which costs 4,000. This only costs 1720 mana. This costs only 2,000 mana. 800 mana. You see what I mean? It's not only feels like a more efficient healing build, but it also is lighter on my mana requirements, which is a big deal. As anyone who knows, I mean, mana has always been a thing in this game since vanilla. Though obviously it's nowhere near as bad now as it used to be back in vanilla, where you took one cast and then you had to go AFK for 5 or 6 seconds for your mana to refill. So.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Well, I'm gonna lose the flask buff that I have going on now, so.
Begins.
Eye of Ny'alotha.
His gaze falls upon you.
Watch your
Corruptor's
step.
Gaze.
I see the corruption within.
Eye of Ny'alotha.
The soft sees all. Yeah, bleed for me.
Eye of Ny'alotha.
His gaze falls upon.
Watch your
Corruptor's
step.
Gaze.
I see the corruption within.
Eye of Ny'alotha.
The soft sees all.
Watch your feet.
Yeah, I'll heal you if you stay in range. If you get out of my range, I can't cast a heal on you.
Heals away
Interrupt
to
one.
expose wrath.
Oh gosh. So I drop that, then I start casting heal, so that way this actually benefits from all the heals I'm casting here.
Run out.
Ah! Move away from all the others. Alright, sure, fine. Don't run into my...
Dare scar perfection.
I can't cast that. There we go.
The soft sees all.
Watch your
Corruptor's
step.
Gaze.
Target wound.
I see the corruption within.
Great, that thing is fixated on me.
The soft
Go.
sees all.
Oh, by the way, you can't just be like, oh, just focus those things down, because they do damage when you destroy them. So it's another give or take, you know, give and take type of fight. It's like you have to take out those bloods, but if you do, they do raid-wide damage, because they do kind of like burst damage. So you have to kind of time when you're going to do it, and make sure everyone's got, you know, the right amount of health before you do. So, yeah.
Eye of Ny'alotha.
The soft sees all.
You know, I definitely will say this so far does feel better. But again, look how spread out this is, especially for healers. This is this is an issue because obviously if I'm not in range, I can't complete cast, so I have to kind of hope that the other healers pick up the slack when I can't cast a heal on someone. Right there.
Watch your step.
I see the corruption within.
Watch your direction. Watch your
Alright. Ah! Ow! Ow! Okay.
Interrupt 2.
Okay, let's...
Run out.
These... Oh my gosh. So much.
Interrupt 1.
It's on me too. Ah!
Interrupt 2.
Okay.
Run out.
Oh my gosh.
Watch your direction.
Dare scar
Back.
perfection.
Again, I like that line he says. You dare scar perfection?
Watch your step. Gaze.
I
Gotta keep my tanks alive.
within.
Watch your direction. I have never. Watch your
Ouch.
Watch your direction.
Oh. There's so much of that all over the ground. This is part of the problem is you're trying to get in range of them to cast your heals on them.
I have Nizza.
And there's just stuff on the ground preventing you from getting to them in time, and then people die because you couldn't get in range of them because you're trying to also avoid getting cast, hit with those things because they can also stop your casts. Okay, I need to start popping cooldowns here because this is getting a little dicey.
Falls upon you.
Watch your direction. I have Nizza.
His gaze falls upon.
Watch your step. Gaze.
I see the corruption within.
Watch your direction. I have Nizza.
The soft
Target
sees all.
Get that on there.
Flesh peels away.
All right,
Watch your direction.
just one more. But there's so much of these bloods. Trying to help get over here so I can help cast the heals on everybody.
Run out.
Ow!
Run out. Watch your direction.
Ugh.
Run out. Interrupt 2. Watch your direction.
Gosh, there's so much of it.
Target you.
Dare scar perfection.
All right, now we lust.
I have Nizza.
The soft sees all.
Now it's time for bloodlust.
Watch your step. Gaze.
I see the corruption within.
I have Nizza.
We've lost some people, but I think we can pull it off. Ow! Okay, I need to get to the other side because I cannot stand behind the tanks and take that.
Eye of Ny'alotha.
Ny'alotha sees all.
Watch your
Corruptor's
step.
gaze.
I see the corruption within.
That's a huge heal, and it didn't really heal that much. And I get silenced!
Eye of Ny'alotha.
Watch your corruption.
Oh, I keep trying to cast stuff, and that stuff keeps appearing under me, interrupting my casts.
Watch your corruption. Watch your corruption. Watch your corruption. Watch your corruption.
There's so much of it. I can't get in range to be able to actually cast my heals.
Corruption within.
Watch your corruption.
Ow!
Watch your corruption.
Eye of Ny'alotha.
His gaze falls upon you.
Okay, at least I had reincarnate ready to go. There's just far too many dead.
Target you.
Eye of Ny'alotha.
Ny'alotha sees all.
Watch your
Corruptor's
step.
gaze.
Target you.
I see the corruption within. Your light fades.
Oh my goodness.
Your tether weakens.
Ugh.
I got the best deals anywhere!
Man. Yeah, lots of people are leaving. Oh man, I have to look up what this fight is like on Mythic. This is just the LFR version of this fight. And it's pretty rough. It's, you know, like I was saying, by the time we got to the end there, we had plenty of people dead, and part of the problem is the amount of corruption on the ground that silences you and you can't make your casts. And it just keeps spawning underneath you. Oof. I would love to see how the Mythic version of this fight went. Just periodically, I just... Shields for people. Unwavering ward. Ooh, someone prepared a feast. Nom 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 nom. A feast is a really, really strong food and drink table, which gives you a well-fed increase in a certain stat. So now my intellect is back to being increased. And everyone else gets an increase in a very certain stat. So go ahead and give that warlock some heals, since they love to just burn their health using Burn Rush. Okay. Let's try this again.
4, 3, 2, 1. The feeding begins.
Eye of Ny'alotha.
Ny'alotha sees all.
Watch your
Corruptor's
step.
gaze.
I see the corruption.
Give our brewmaster some heals there.
Watch your feet.
Corruption. I have
Ugh.
His gaze falls upon you.
Eye of Ny'alotha.
The soft sees all.
Watch your
Corruptor's
step.
gaze.
I see the corruption within.
Eye of Ny'alotha.
His gaze falls upon you. Flesh peels away
Run out.
to expose rot.
Okay. Ouch.
Interrupt 2.
Ah!
Target you.
Dare scar perfection.
Eye of Ny'alotha.
The soft sees all.
Man, you guys see all that damage they do when you kill them? Oh, man.
See the corruption within. Feel my fury.
Eye of Ny'alotha.
The soft sees all.
Ugh.
Eye of Ny'alotha.
I've already lost 2 people. And I am not in range to heal those others, so I need the other healers to be in range to help heal them.
Within.
Eye of Ny'alotha.
His gaze falls upon you.
Eye of Ny'alotha.
The soft sees all.
Watch your
Corruptor's
step.
gaze.
I see the corruption within.
I can't, nope.
Corruption. Eye of Ny'alotha.
The soft flesh peels away to expose rot.
Whew, man.
You dare
Target you.
scar perfection.
Eye of Ny'alotha.
The soft sees all.
Watch your
Corruptor's
step.
gaze.
I see the corruption within.
Watch your feet.
Corruption. Eye of Ny'alotha.
Watch your feet.
Corruption.
Gaze falls upon you.
Watch your feet.
Corruption.
Target you.
Eye of Ny'alotha.
His gaze falls upon
Watch your
Corruptor's
step.
gaze.
I see the corruption within.
Target you.
Eye of Ny'alotha.
Ny'alotha sees all.
Eye of Ny'alotha.
Watch your
Corruption.
Watch your
Corruptor's
step.
gaze.
I see the corruption within.
Watch your
Corruption. Eye of Ny'alotha.
His gaze flesh peels away
run out.
to expose rot.
Target you. One.
Go ahead and put that down for now, because we do not need people dying here right now. Not when we're about to get to the last phase. Okay.
Dare scar perfection.
Watch your
Corruption. Eye of Ny'alotha.
His gaze falls.
Someone had already popped it?
Watch your
Corruptor's
step.
gaze.
Someone already popped Bloodlust? It was not me, I can tell you that.
Watch your
Corruption.
Watch your
Corruption. Eye of Ny'alotha.
Ny'alotha sees all.
target you.
Eye of Ny'alotha.
Ny'alotha sees all.
Watch your
Corruptor's
step.
gaze.
I see the corruption within.
Watch your
Corruption. Eye of
target
Ny'alotha.
you.
Ny'alotha sees all.
Eye of Ny'alotha.
Ooh, man. This is tense.
Watch your
Corruptor's
step.
gaze.
I see the corruption within.
Eye of Ny'alotha.
His gaze falls upon you.
Eye of Ny'alotha.
His gaze falls upon.
Watch your
Corruptor's
step.
gaze.
I see the corruption within.
Target you.
Eye of
On.
Ny'alotha.
Yes! Woo!
Shall drown in the dark.
Contamination sanitized. Anchor deployment initiated.
Champions, the world is better off without Iyl'gynoth and his maddening whispers. Though, take heed. His prophecies were meant to drive his victims insane. Now that he's gone, just put them out of your mind for good.
Okay. Whew. So, now that the fight is over, before we cut this off, by the way, Wing 4 goes live next week, so I'll be able to queue up just for Carapace and regular N'Zoth. in the next wing that we do. But before we cut this off, let me see if I can actually give you guys the quotes that I was referring to. Because the thing is, this is probably a case that we know of where Iyl'gynoth has a tendency to... How do I say this? You're less likely to believe something that somebody says if you think they are evil, where you think they're just lying, when in fact they're telling you the truth. But they think, or they know that you think that they are lying. So they'll tell you something that is actually true, but you're perceiving it to be a lie just because, this person isn't trustworthy, why should I believe anything they say? So many of us have speculated that many of the things that Iyl'gynoth has said has actually been true. But they are basically said in the forms of riddles. I'm trying to see if I can find a place that just lists off all his different quotes here. Come on. Alright. Okay, let's see. So, here's some of the things that he said back when we were in the Emerald Nightmare. I don't think I got a chance to read these for you guys back when I did my video on the Emerald Nightmare. I could always go back and do it. After all, I do runs in there all the time, trying to get Mogs and such, and I still haven't gotten the shoulders from Xavius. So, when we enter Un'Goro, Malfurion's like, if this seed takes hold, the roots of its infestation will wind their way into the heart of Azeroth. The nightmare would devour our world, claiming everything, everyone. A presence, something new, yet familiar. Yes, your coming was foretold in the rings. The long circle is nearly complete. Come, little ones, savor your fear as we feast upon it. So here are some of the quotes. Flesh is his gift. He is your true creator. To find him, drown yourself in the circle of stars. The King of Diamonds has been made a pawn. Many of us believe that he's referring to Magni, of course. The Lord of Ravens will turn the key. That one we've kind of had a lot of speculation on, because who the Lord of Ravens he's referring to, that's debatable. The Boy King serves at the Master's table. 3 lies he will offer you. Will he offer you, excuse me. Her heart is a crater, and we have filled it. I'm trying to remember who people speculated on, because to me this could mean Sylvanas. This could also mean Illyria, like in the horrific vision of Stormwind I showed you in the previous video. At the hour of her 3rd death, she will usher in our coming. Now I'm trying to remember, because our coming, he could be referring to this, what happens in this expansion, which I'm thinking, could he actually be referring to Azshara? But I don't know how many times she's actually died, or supposedly died. Maybe not literally died, but figuratively, symbolically, maybe, not sure. From the earth he draws strength, our earth, our strength. Its surface blazes bright, masking shadows below. And then some of the other things he says is during the fight, like when we aggro him to start the fight, so he goes, at last, the feeding hour. So those are some of the other things that he says. That's an Emerald Nightmare. Now let me see if I can look up the quotes Yeah. Okay, so here are the new quotes that he says in this raid from this fight that we just had. Before the last shadow falls, the father of sleep shall savor his feast. It says one common theory is that Muzala is the father of sleep, and in the children's book Traveler, the Spiritual Path, Aloha Muzala utters the following ominous dialogue. Not yet, son of Thorn, not yet. This is not the day. The day comes. It comes, but Muzala will not engage you here or now. Our battle is yet to come. Yet to come. But it will come, child. It will come, and if you lose that battle, Muzala feasts on all of Azeroth. All of Azeroth, all of Azeroth, all of Azeroth. The in-game tablet of Theka also refers to Muzala, god of death, father of sleep, son of time, the night's friend. Let's see. Here's another one. The Golden One claims a vacant throne. I can't do Iyl'gynoth's voice. It's too awesome and too deep of a voice to replicate. The crown of light will bring only darkness. Now, some have speculated this is actually referring to Kalia Menethil in light of her new model as a new type of Forsaken. And this, of course, leads to what happened with, in that little meeting I showed you with Kalia, Lillian, and Derek. When their mistress beckons, 9 ravens take flight. Each seeks a prize to her favor. Many believe this is actually referring to Sylvanas and the 9 Valkyr that abandoned the Lich King with whom she had formed a pact in the story Edge of Night. You guys remember that, when I referred to how Sylvanas actually committed suicide after we beat the Lich King at the end of Wrath. She went to the darkness and the Valkyr actually saved her and made a bargain with her. The vassal of life disguises treachery. Beware the eyes of green. Many wonder if this has to do with the green dragonflight. And we've had our encounter with them. 5 lanterns now darkened. The flame they seek will light the master's way. It says, this quote is a direct reference to the previous Iyl'gynoth whisper, 5 keys to open our way. 5 torches light our path. In Legion, the 5 keys were generally assumed to refer to the 5 pillars of creation. Once the pillars were collected, they set in motion a chain of events that ultimately led to Sargeras plunging the sword into Azeroth. And it's unclear if the current quote still refers to the pillars of creation. And it could also be a metaphor for the various Titan facilities across Azeroth. The blind queen wields a scepter of bone. From the deep she calls forth doom. Now some wonder if this is referring to Tyrande, because now and is wielding the vengeance of Elune as the Night Warrior, could be seen as the Blind Queen, focused on vengeance for Teldrassil. One could argue that she is blinded by all of her consuming hunger for vengeance. While it's entirely reasonable that the ruler of a culture rebuilding from genocide would be incredibly upset, others in the Alliance, like Anduin and Chandris, wish Tyrande would take a more measured approach. After all, Tyrande's parting words to Chandris in this patch were, "My hunger for vengeance will not be sated so long as Sylvanas Windrunner remains free, and until I know why Elune abandoned her children." By investigating Elune, Tyrande may find herself calling from Doom, especially if sinister forces have been entrapping Elune during the burning of Teldrassil. And this relates back to what he said. The fall of night reveals her true face. She will bring only ruin. And it talks about how there are a couple different lines here from Vera Mothras that had to do with this. possibly referring to Sylvanas. Here's another quote from Iyl'gynoth. "The cunning ones kneel before 6 masters, but serve only one." This quote is another throwback to past whispers from earlier in the expansion. 6 seats at the high table, 6 mouths that hunger, one will consume others. At the time, we interpreted the 6 seats several ways. There are 6 remaining members of the Pantheon. Sargeras turned on the others after they refused to destroy all the worlds to prevent the corruption of the Void. There are 6 cosmic forces, Void and Light, Life and Death, Order and Chaos. Sylvanas frequently references serving death, which, in light of this quote, could refer to the true master of the cunning that the Cunning Ones served, the one that we saw hinted at in the Shadowlands trailer. Since that first Ny'alotha quote about 6 seats, we have seen Sylvanas' plans further escalate, culminating in her confrontation with Sourfang at the end of the Fourth War, and reveal that she entered into a pact with Jara, which you can learn more about Sylvanas' plans, The End of Hope and the Rise of the Lich Queen, War Campaign Finale Analysis. That's a separate page. I'm reading this off of Wowhead, so because it has the quotes plus the possible explanation and analysis on these quotes. So I believe that's it. And then it says, should we ignore these whispers? And, it goes into further analysis. I do like that they actually, this is like a page where they're putting forth lots of speculation and such. So, anyways, lots of interesting riddles and whispers from Iyl'gynoth and such for us to speculate on how much of this is actually true. How much is he actually forewarning us about what could be coming, and we just have not been able to prepare for it or solve it? Not really sure. So yeah, that was quite a fight. So there's only one wing in the LFR Ny'alotha raid left. The Carapace of Ny'alotha, which I believe is going to have a cutscene that plays when we first enter, involving Rathian and Ny'alotha, and then Ny'alotha himself. Whether or not that's going to be the next part or not, well, we'll figure that out later. I'm curious, what is this going to do? Let's see what this does. Whee! Up to the very top. Alright. So I guess now we would head over here and head this way to start our confrontation with the Carapace. Let's go see. I believe that stuff is still there, like the barrier restricting you from continuing because it's only LFR, not normal or heroic. Yeah, see, it's blocked off because it's like, nope, you can't go this way. Yep, gaze from beyond. It's like, nope, you can't go this way. So that's the direction we would be heading. I like that the barriers are closed off. Like, nope, this is as far as you go. So, whew. Hope you guys enjoyed seeing those fights. I will say this. Obviously, a lot of people have horrible experiences in LFR. And yes, I know that how the fights work in LFR compared to higher difficulties is clearly not the same. However, I will say this is a good way for some people to get familiar with the mechanics and how the fights work. I feel like I was able to help contribute more so in the groups that I've joined heroic runs with, by actually participating in these fights in LFR and getting fairly familiar with these mechanics, because that's extremely important. Is if you know the mechanics, you can usually do pretty well. Then you just have to think about getting your gear so that way you can be able to last in these fights longer. Being up to 452, obviously here I have better weapons for when I play enhancement compared to this, where my shield is only 425, so I'm gonna have to work at getting a better shield for when I play Resto. So anyways, I hope you guys stick around for when I eventually do Wing 4 to show the finale of Ny'alotha the Waking City, where we will look to finally take down Ny'alotha. But will we? Will we actually be destroying him? Well, we shall have to wait and see. So stay tuned.